Yes, that, ladies and gentlemen? I think we should. She is an iconic screen presence. She's an instantly recognised star. If there's something strange in the neighbourhood, who are you going to call? I think you're going to call Sigourney Weaver.
I'm sure you did everything right. Come and sit down.
Well, it's unusual. Shows don't normally show the green room, do they? So
but it's so nice because you get to meet everyone who's going to be on the show, and that doesn't happen.
Well, listen, speaking of shows, it's, in a way, I suppose, I owe my career to your father.
That's very true.
Because am I right in thinking that your father invented the talk show?
Yes, he invented The Tonight Show, but also the whole idea of the talk show.
When was this? It was back in the 50s, I guess?
I think it was around 1952.
Wow. And it's still
and
going
you've
to this...
kept it alive and thriving.
Well, I've tried to kill it off many times, but it's obviously a very strong format. Here's the thing I'm interested in is... I didn't know this, and someone told me that you'd shown this on an American show, and we got the footage as well, that you're a big Beatles fan.
Yes, I was.
And you always were back in the day. So you still are, I guess, aren't you?
Well, of course. Yeah. Once a Beatles fan, always a Beatles fan.
And you saw them live pretty early in their kind of American career.
My family moved to California when I was 12, and the Beatles were playing at the Hollywood Bowl.
Wow.
And so I didn't know anyone, but I went to the Hollywood Bowl, and I just remember I saw they were so far away. I must have been in the last row. And I was surrounded by all these girls who were crying and screaming, you know, like the Trojan women. It was ridiculous. But I was so thrilled, and every now and then I didn't want to look like I wasn't excited. So I'd go, John, you know, and then I'd kind of laugh because I couldn't get into that hysteria.
So, and why? Because you weren't feeling the love for them like the others were, or you just didn't want to be seen, you wouldn't be silly? Was there a bit of self-respect going on?
I didn't understand why they were weeping. I mean, it was so happy. Their music is so happy and joyous. I didn't understand why they were so hysterical. I'm sure there's something wrong with me, but anyway, and probably if I'd been with like 5 friends I knew really well, we'd all be crying. I don't know. We
have this footage, and you can see, I mean, Sigourney, of course, looks beautiful, but she's... how old were you then?
I was 12, and I was this tall when I was 12, so I was quite a monster.
Wow, so this is Sigourney... this is the monstrous Sigourney Weaver, faking it at a Beatles concert. We now know. I wouldn't have known that. It's only 5 seconds long, but it's so clearly you, and it's fabulous. Have a look at this.
The police struggle to hold the lines back to keep the crowd in order.
I love that, because when you shout John, you then look to one side to see if anyone notices that you're not really into it. You're thinking, have I been busted? Do they know I'm faking this? Let me ask you about the new movie called Chappie, from the very gifted director of District 9.
Yes.
And it's not a dissimilar kind of territory in some ways, that film, but this is a different kind of movie, isn't it?
Yes, it's set in Johannesburg in the future, and there are robot policemen who are guarding the city against all these gangsters who are very outlandish, and they want to kidnap a police robot to help them do heists. But they kidnap this robot that's sort of an experiment that has been programmed to think and feel and paint and write poetry. So it's one of the most surprising, original, charming, and violent movies.
And it's very funny at times,
It's so funny.
Yeah, especially when they're teaching him to try and be a gangster.
Yes.
There's some great scenes. We're going to show you, this is the trailer from it. This is Chappie. It's out this Friday all over the UK. So the director's name is Neil Blomkamp.
Blomkamp.
Blomkamp, OK, Neil Blomkamp. And he, I believe, is... there's talk that he might be reviving the Alien franchise.
He's a big Alien fan.
Well, aren't we all? I mean, I'm assuming you are a bit of a fan as well.
Oh, it's all right.
How would you rate the movies? Of the 4 movies we've had so far, there was Alien, there was Aliens, there was Alien 3, and there was Alien, brackets 4, Resurrection.
That's like asking me which of my children I love best.
Well, which one do you love best?
Well, I only have one.
So it's easy. So it's nothing like asking which one of your children you like best. But if you had 3 others, 2 of whom were a bit shit, which 2 would you like best?
I like each one for different reasons.
Yeah, but which ones do you like the most? Of those different reasons, which reasons do you prefer?
If Neil Blomkamp does the last one, I will like that one
You
best.
think it'll be that one. And is this happening? Can you say if this is happening or not? You don't know?
You know, he's done a lot of the artwork, and he seems to be writing the script.
So do you know, I know you can't say, and we wouldn't want it spoiled, would we? But
Yeah.
do you know in which direction he might be taking it? Because that's either a very fancy party you're going to or you're getting involved with the alien there.
Yes, I'm not sure what it means,
Okay,
but I'll
we have
have
one
to
more.
find out. I hope it doesn't
Look
mean
at
I'm
this.
going underwater.
Well, no, yeah, because which one was it? Number 4, where you spent a lot of time
We
underwater?
spent a lot of time underwater.
That must have been, and you were actually doing that yourself?
Yes, we all had to do it ourselves, and we had to go into this cavernous set filled with sharp objects where there was no light, and we had this crazy stunt guy named Ernie who, so we were down there, we had masks, and we had air, but as soon as they said action, we had to leave everything.
So you dropped
So
the
he'd
air.
go, 5, 4, 3, 2, masks off, go, 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 go. And he got you so frightened, you're out of breath right away. And then you keep swimming, and you can't see anything as far as you could, for as long as you could, and then you went like this and hoped that some guy with air would come and find you in the dark.
Wow.
And we did this for 5 weeks.
Wow. How many actors did you lose?
Well, not everyone showed up for work every day. I have to say. No, but it was exciting, and I think in Avatar too, we're going to have some water sequences. Then I get to be underwater with Jim Cameron, which will also be fun.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to the Avatar in a minute, but here's the thing about Alien is the first Alien movie when it came out, I mean, it changed the face of cinema. It changed the face of that kind of movie, and it certainly changed the face, I think, of how an audience regarded women in those films, because you were the first sort of tough, kick-ass action female star that I could think of in a big Western movie.
And it was sort of an accident, because they just thought, well, let's make the girl the survivor, because no one will ever think that she's going to do it.
Because was Ripley the part originally written for a man?
It was. They were all men, all men's parts.
Wow. It's an incredible movie. So you mentioned Avatar. Now, Avatar, what a movie Avatar was, wasn't it? Wow. What a piece of work that was. And once again, very much of the moment and very unexpected. And now with Jim Cameron, you're doing, I believe, you're not making just a sequel, you're making 2 or even 3 more.
We're
Is that
making
right?
3 more simultaneously.
Wow, that must be... How do you get your head around that kind of schedule?
I'm going to find out very soon.
When do you start?
I think in the fall.
OK. And presumably, the timeline picks up where the first film left off?
No, I don't play the same character.
Ah. Well, you've kind of disappeared at the end of that movie
I
anyway.
went into the cynosynclastic fundanibulum or something.
Wow, because that's the kind of sort of sensory network of the big plant beast,
Yes.
whatever the thing...
Yes, wherever I went somewhere.
But the premise of that, when you first read that, you must have thought he's got to really pull this off, or this is going to be silly. Because you've got so much going on in it, and if it wasn't in the hands of someone as competent and confident and brilliant as him, it could have been a disaster, couldn't it?
Well, I always had great confidence in Jim. You know, he always does to me things that are impossible, like build the submarine that will take him down to the bottom of the Marianas Trench or something like that.
He is down in the undersea area quite a lot.
He says he makes movies, actually, to be able to afford to build the submarines and design them and use them.
And is he generous with his subs? Has he invited you on?
We've been going down 5 hours and have another 5 hours to go before we go down and see anything.
Does he really go for 10 hours down like that?
Well, he really, you know, the bottom of the Marianas Trench is, I don't know, even 20 hours probably.
Why on earth would you want to go down there?
There must be something going on there we don't know about.
It must be the world's greatest swingers party. That's what he said.
Exactly.
Well, look, Chappie is out Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Sigourney Weaver is, as always, sublime in it. But I can't wait to see the Avatar movies. Cannot wait to see Alien 5, which, as you just said, is going to be better than the 2 you don't like. So, ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Sigourney Weaver. Still to come on the show, Martin Clunes, Tracy Emin, Thierry Henry, and music from Kanye West. So join me after the break.